Once upon a time, I was a young girl on a mission, a go getter, motivated, focused, and determined. And every day, I would continuously go after my dreams, relentlessly and full of energy. Those of you who knew me back then knew this little girl. Till one day, I quit my corporate career. I quit a life, a job, a career, a path that was so perfectly paved out for me, with success and money overflowing, an absolutely perfect life path that no longer served me. And then I was on my own, a 40-year-old woman realizing that I wasn't the same as that little girl. Until finally, I realized it was time to let her go, that old version of me, and embrace this new version of me, honoring how far that little girl had came, that teenager, that collegiate gem of a person, and that her way of approaching life was no longer needed. And from that point on, from this realization, this is where I leave you now. This is my story. This is where I'm at. And I share this with you today, short and brief and to the point in today's soul chat. Because sometimes the life that seems really perfect, that's paved out for us, may not be the most aligned life for us to lean into. And it can be really, really challenging. It can be challenging because that corporate life, that sales career, that experience for me brought me a six-figure income very early in my life. It brought me wild amounts of opportunity to travel, to be in multiple different places around the United States, to have amazing experiences and meet some incredible people. Perhaps you're one of those people watching this right now, and I'm grateful for our time together. One of the things that I've come to learn in that part of the story where I share I left that corporate job, that corporate life, my sales career, that lucrative, amazing sales career, I left that for a couple of reasons. I left that to go all in on me because I knew deep down inside that there was more for me than the perfect path that was laid ahead of me. I knew that there was more of an impact that I wanted to make, and I wanted to create and step into a reality where I was willing to trust myself more than the path laid out before me. I didn't realize this here until recently, but this just came into my awareness that with this perfect path laid out before me, and if you don't know, I live life as a nomad. I've lived nomadically for the past 3 years. 3 years ago, actually, like 3.5 years ago, May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, 3.5 years ago, we sold everything and we have been traveling around the United States and living nomadically, living very differently than most people. Now, I know nowadays, there's a lot more people living and traveling nomadically than there ever has been. And I'm so grateful for these opportunities. I share this with you, and I'm going to speak about this a bit from an energetic perspective that I wasn't aware of when I made this transition and I quit my corporate career. I was not aware of this, but I can see it now, is that sometimes when these paths are laid out for us, there are some other energetic pieces of this that may be making it more challenging to leave something that feels secure, that feels um, like a no-brainer path for us. I'm going to give a short caveat here. That I'm not suggesting that you leave it all behind or that you put yourself in any type of situation that um, risky financial situation, because I know there's a lot of talk here on social media and YouTube and different things and different platforms where it's like jump and leap and go all in on your dreams. I do believe that to a certain degree, and at the same time, like we each have our own path. I share this story today and I share this conversation because I truly believe at the core of me, of the core of my being, that we are co-creators in this reality, that there are many things that are available to us. Now, I also want to speak a little bit briefly on the fact that I know I'm a white female and that this may not be the case in some situations, and I cannot address all of that. What I can address is in this moment, like what is on my heart that I want to share. So I may not have done that justice acknowledging that or not acknowledging that. I have to share this because I know that there are people out there who have all the things, have the good jobs and the good path and the good career and have the stuff, or even maybe even have a business that you've created that you love, and that it just feels like it's not the path anymore. And what I was going to bring in energetically is that when we also layer in different things, so we layer in whatever societal expectations are, or perhaps we layer in um, family expectations. I am 1,000% clear that I know that there are people within my family unit who, just in general, within my family unit, who either don't understand or would prefer that I would have roots somewhere because it makes them uncomfortable that I don't have roots somewhere, and I don't have a house, and I don't live a normal life, that I don't live normally. That does not work for me. And I'm someone who my whole life I've tried to fit in. I really have. I've tried to fit in. I've tried to assimilate in. I wanted to be accepted by other people. And I've always been a little bit different in different ways. And my whole life, from a people pleasing perspective, people please my way and, made a lot of good friends and did a lot of things. But also, it's like, I'm remembering this story right now when I was in, I want to say, like fourth or fifth grade, in that age bracket. I don't know how old you are in fourth or fifth grade. 12? I don't know. Um, I was in a talented and gifted program in school, which basically meant that I was going into these, like, I guess, advanced classes to have more stimulation. But of course, that meant we were being like put in a different group of kids. So we stuck out and we got made fun of a lot with a lot of it was called tag. And so there's another couple words that rhyme with that, and that's what we would be called. And, I remember going back home to my parents and asking them, I'm so grateful for them for this. I went home and asked them, I said, I don't want to be in this program anymore. I just want to be normal. Like, why do I have to be different than everyone else? Like, I just want to be like everyone else. I just want to be like everyone else. Like, why do I have to get made fun of? Why do I have to do this? And I remember that they told me something along the lines of, it's actually great that you're not like anybody else because you're not meant to be. You're not meant to be someone who blends in with the crowd. You're not meant to be like everyone else. You are meant to be you. And they steered me, and it makes me emotional sharing this because they steered me back into the idea and into the belief that it is okay to be ourselves and to be unique. And I think why I'm getting emotional right now sharing this is because here I am at this point from where I first shared the story of being this little girl going after everything, and then realizing that now I'm a different woman and I don't need everything of hers that brought me here. Like, I don't need all of that anymore. And it's beautiful because it's like, in a way, oh, this is happening here live right here on this video. I'm having this breakthrough, and these kind of things happen for me all the time. So I think it's so beautiful that it's happening right now. I'm having this realization that that little girl, that part of me that's wanted to fit in, I might cry. So like that little girl, that little part of me that has wanted to fit in all these years and all this time, I have in so many ways like wanted to assimilate, wanted to be normal, and at the same time knew in the deepest part of me that I'm always meant to be different. I always have been. And you know what? Sometimes different shows up in different ways that we dress or maybe different ways that we express ourselves. And for me, what different means is it means all the ways that I have um, colored outside the lines. And I've lived a very like structured life in many ways. I've not been a rule breaker because I just wanted to fit in. I just wanted to fit in. And the, what do I call it? Like the purpose that's been put on my heart in this lifetime that I have felt since I was a little girl is to be is to create something that hasn't been created, to do something different that hasn't been done. And from my current area of consciousness, it's like, wait, what does that mean? That's so big. Oh, how do you do all that? And it's interesting because I can see all the different ways that I have um, wanted to assimilate and wanted to be like everyone else. You know how many times in my business as an entrepreneur, I've wondered internally a lot and externally a handful of times, why can't I just be like everyone else? How funny that this is coming full circle. Why can't I be like everyone else? Like, why can't I just have a business selling freaking tables or something? Like, can I just like sell tables to people? It feels like it'd be easier. Like, why did I have to pick a business that was life coaching and helping people transform their lives and live their best life? Like, I've asked this question so many times. Like, why? Like, why did I have to pick such a nuanced, hard to explain um, path in life? Why is this what is I've been led to? And then enter the Akashic records in, and it's like, how much weirder can I get? I love it, by the way, but it's like, how much weirder can I get? Like, okay, got Akashic records. And then I started in different sessions articulating in different languages and tones and sounds with people to help move energy. It's like, how much weirder can I get? And it's interesting that here on this live, when I came to share this story, how full circle it came to where the piece that I shared here about, and then I was on my own, a 40-year-old woman, realizing that I wasn't the same as that little girl. And I realized it was time to let her go and embrace this new version of me, honoring how far she had come and that her way of approaching life was no longer needed. Here I am saying this story and this realization, and it's so full circle right now, and realizing how many ways I've shown up wanting to fit in and operating like that little girl. Now is the time to release, and we're here live. So I'm just going to sit here for a moment and demonstrate like how I'm feeling right now, just to move through that. Like, just going to take a moment here. What's happening in my head is I'm thinking like, I'm so grateful for her. I'm so grateful for the lessons. I don't need to fit in anymore. Each one of us is unique. Each one of us is our own trailblazer in our own way. I think sometimes our minds come up with meanings, ideas, beliefs around certain ideas and concepts that aren't always the essence of what the mission or the path or the purpose is. And many of us overcomplicate TF, duh fuck, out of things. Like a lot of us overcomplicate things so much. I'm talking to myself. Um, what if it could be easy? What if you allowed it to be easy? What if you allowed yourself to be different? And as I conclude today's soul chat and my story, like I said, and then from then on, this is exactly where I'm at in my story right now. You witnessed it. You witnessed it continue to unfold as a new layer appeared, as a new awareness appeared in this. And I'm excited to see how this continues to unfold. I'm grateful for you. Thank you for being a part of these soul chats. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for listening. Listening quietly. I see you from like an energetic standpoint. I'm not I'm not like coming and looking at your social media pages. I just mean like I see you, like heart to heart, like I see you. And sometimes we just want to kind of be in the shadows and we want to just watch from that place. And it's okay. And when you're ready and when you want to and you feel like it's the aligned time for you to rebirth, create, rediscover, shift into and align to a higher timeline and a higher frequency, you're wanting to up level, and you really want to transform your life, I'll be here. This is my life's work, and I've tried to run away from it many times in many different ways, and it's not going anywhere. I've been talking about this stuff since my teens. I really have. I really have. And in my journey to fit in and be like everyone else, I've kind of ran away from my own destiny, if I'm being honest. I've shown up for it many times, but I've also played small. So I'm here. I'm here. I'm here to guide and walk right along you. There are multiple ways that you can engage in this journey with me if you feel like energetically you feel the tingles or you feel the heart pull or you feel the soul pull that I'm your person or I'm potentially one of the people who's going to help guide you back home to yourself and help you to remember and own and step into your power. There are multiple different ways right now that I do have available for that. So I do have one-on-one. Um, at the moment, I'm not doing any group coaching at the moment of this video. So I have one-on-one. Also, you've got these soul chats you can tune into. You can get an Akashic record reading. I also just was like called into my greatness by a client today who was mentioning that she wanted to go to retreats. And she was like, let me know what retreat. So I started brainstorming and doing my connector thing that I do. And after I did all that, I was like, you know what? I don't think you're asking about all that. You're kind of asking like when I'm going to have a retreat. And I've been talking about retreats for over 10 years and how I want to host one. And it's like something I've been scared to do, if I'm being straight honest. I've just been scared over all this time. And I definitely have the power and the ability to hold the space for something like that. So what came of that conversation was, you know what? And that you guys are hearing it live right now here on this video. I want to host like one-on-one. Like that's where I can start. I can start by hosting a one-on-one deep dive experience where it would start as like this one-on-one day, this beautiful day. That's like the minimum. And then I would say from there, potentially like a 3 to 5 day experience. It really just depends on what the needs are. And I don't know if I want to commit to 5 days. Hold on. I'm literally just like talking this out loud right now. But what I'm saying is I'm going to make myself available for a handful of private one-on-one retreats that will be deep dive transformations into your soul, into your blueprint, into the transformation, into the energetics. Like, come hang out with me if you feel called. Like, your life will change. I'm just saying, like, my energy is a very activating energy, and so you're going to get those activations, which is why I called my business Akashic Activations. Like, you're going to be activated. You're going to walk away a whole new person. It's going to be a whole level up. And so I'm excited. This is actually something I'm like super excited about. Like, I'm excited. So I feel really giggly now. I don't know how to end this. Sometimes I struggle with these things. Like, how do you end this? I guess I just say bye. Bye. See you on the next soul chat.